Often, people who are just learning about positive organizational scholarship want to know what a thriving organization would look like. At the Center for Positive Organizations, we convene a consortium of organizations that are seeking to thrive. Our members meet to share learning, swap ideas, and support one another. Our consortium members gathered recently to talk about the challenges they face and the directions they're taking amid coronavirus disruptions. Our conversation was led by Kevin Schneiders, the CEO of EDSI. Headquartered in Dearborn, Michigan, EDSI has grown from a local company of 15 people to a national company of 815. One thing you'll hear as Kevin talks is a special way he defines his role. He's not just the CEO. He defines himself as a servant leader whose responsibility is not only financial and operational leadership, but also offering compassion, service, and support to people throughout the organization. Here's Kevin describing his practice of holding town halls and how this practice has helped foster meaningful connections with people all across the organization.
We do town halls. We call them town halls because I still meet with everybody individually and in small groups over the course of a year. I don't ask them to tell me anything other than one thing that they're excited about in the next 80 days, and they tell me stories. And then through those stories, I make note of them. My executive assistant, Jennifer, makes note of them, and then she puts the upcoming events into my calendar, and then I follow up with each person individually via email. So if they have a wedding that's being planned or someone that's about to have a grandchild, then I follow up with them on that date to say, I know you mentioned in the town hall meeting you were excited about this. How are things going? And that starts a cadence back and forth of emails. So how important is that today? Some of these reminders are coming up in my calendar tomorrow, and I will email that person about the family reunion that's no longer happening, or the expectant mother that's really, really nervous now because of coronavirus. And so it's a chance for me to show up for them in a different way. Rather than celebrating the thing that they're excited about, I can show up with great sympathy and empathy in some cases to say, I'm with you, I'm here for you, what else can we do for you? And each time just trying to be that person that they need in crisis.
EDSI actively engages with three central values that they've defined for themselves over time and that comprise the centerpiece of their organizational culture. Here's Kevin talking about how these values and the way they're put into use in the organization on a regular basis relates to the organization's ability to thrive in a trying time.
So when you think about the foundation that putting people first and creating this positive culture can help in your business, it's not only for the growth of your company that we've seen, higher performance, productivity, and profit, certainly we've seen. Now it's being tested in the midst of a crisis, and it's showing up for us in a way that I never really thought that it could have been valuable. We didn't apply it to this. No one did. When you face something that's unprecedented, you can fall back on the values that have served you well in other spaces. I'm really, really excited about what it's been able to do for us to kind of prop us up and keep us going.
Another type of flexible social structure that is so important in mobilizing resources for thriving is the human networks in the organization and beyond. At EDSI, they tap into these networks regularly to stimulate learning, creativity, and new ways of seeing problems.
These are really hard challenges and really hard questions that our leadership team goes to a national group of people that we combine of about 6 to 7 people on a problem that we can't solve. So the leadership team goes to them and says, we're stumped. We want to turn this over to you. And it's been so inspiring to see the solutions that they come up with. 95% of the time, we are implementing these solutions. And in that way, it's prepared us for today because we're turning over now challenges that we have about virtual work and starting new functional improvement teams. That's created a really cool environment where they know that we respect them and we don't have all the answers too. There's great transparency to that.
Our various consortium members look very different from one another, but they all draw on the same framework for thriving. And they all share the same types of benefits: greater engagement, retention of talented people, productivity, and financial success. but additionally, greater compassion and agility to shift quickly and respond resiliently in changing circumstances. We hope this glimpse into what one thriving organization looks like will stimulate your imagination for the possibilities of thriving in your own communities as you meet the challenges that life in the time of coronavirus brings. Thanks for listening.